In this episode of Ricky Remembers 7 Gonzaga at the Ateneo Grade School in the year 1989 to 1990. The 80s have now winded down and a new decade begins. But before I get to that particular year or for that particular memory down our walk the Ateneo Grade School corridors, I want to encourage everyone first to support our fundraising efforts. We're having a concert with Parokya ni Edgar this October 22 at the Music Museum in Green Hills. You can only buy your tickets now from TicketNet. So if you want tickets to that concert, go to TicketNet. You can't buy from any of us anymore. By this point, they probably might be sold out now. But if you can go to TicketNet and try it out, tickets are at 1,000 and 2,000 pesos. 1,000 for the orchestra and 2,000 for the balcony. Or is it the other way around? 2,000 for the balcony, or 2,000 for the orchestra and 1,000 for the balcony. Basta 1,000 tsaka 2,000 yung tickets for Parokya ni Edgar. We also have a raffle. We're giving away a Hyundai Kona for first prize. And then second prize, we're giving away a Vespa scooter and then a specialized bike for third prize. And we're also giving away Cole Hand shoes and Nautica wear. So tickets are at 500 pesos for our raffle. Please support that. And also, we are selling a batch watch, a Seiko Urchin customized with the Atenista colors or the Ateneo colors. We only have the white face left, the one with the white face. Sold out na yung blue, so we only have a few pieces of the white-faced Seiko Urchin left. And also, if you want to support our batch, also we're selling our Ateneo shirt or alumni shirt with the Ignatian 94 logo here in the sleeve. So send me a message or send any of my batchmates a message if you want to avail of that. So, for this episode, Ricky remembers 7 Gonzaga, Aloysius Gonzaga in Ateneo Grade School in the year 1989 to 1990. As I mentioned yesterday, this is the final episode of the Atenista series here at Ricky Remembers. Thank you for coming along for the ride and for watching every day. This is our last episode on Ateneo or an Atenista. Tomorrow we're back to regular programming where I'll be remembering all sorts of pop culture stuff and other stuff during my life in Manila when I was younger. So 7 Gonzaga, of course, as I said also before, I always dedicate these episodes or these Ricky Remember series to our teachers, our Ateneo Grade School teachers. And for grade 7, our moderator was Mr. Nestor Santiago. Mr. Nestor Santiago was our teacher for Filipino and science, which if you think about it, it's a bit of a weird combination, no? Filipino tsaka science. So I remember Mr. Nestor Santiago, very calm teacher, never loses his cool. Quite a gentleman, always very formal, very strict also, and he was able to control us. You know, we were a motley crew. Yung classroom namin, may mga nerd, may mga siga, may mga athlete, may simpleng makulit lang talaga. So it was a hodgepodge, and thanks to Mr. Nes Santiago for being very calm and cool with us and for being able to control all those raging 14-year-old hormones. So, Mr. Santiago, thank you for that wonderful year when you taught us in 7 Gonzaga. I remember a few years back, nakita ko si Mr. Santiago sa isang wake. And he recognized me, and of course I recognized him. We chatted a little bit, and then nung time na yun kasi nauso na yung photography, you know. You remember that time when everybody had a DSLR, and of course, as you know, Mr. Santiago was the original photographer. Talagang grade school pa lang tayo, or even before that, he was an avid photographer already. A lot of the photos that we have in the Chronicle, siya yung kumukuha yung mga school grounds ng Ateneo. I was asking him nga recently if he still had the negatives of those kasi sobrang priceless na yun, very valuable. And up to now, he still shoots photos, and his photos are spectacular, magnificent. Ang gaganda ng mga nature shots niya. And even one time we used one as a cover photo for the Atenista group kasi sobrang ganda talaga. Very talented photographer, overall gentleman, and a great teacher, a great educator. Mr. Nestor Santiago, thank you. If you're watching this, this is for you. Also, in 7 Gonzaga, naging classmate ko for the first time si Gino Bagsit. If you remember the grade 5 episode or the grade 5 Intramuros episode, I talked about yung kalaro ko ng mga PC games. Si Gino was part of that group, but he was from a different section altogether. So we became friends grade 5 pa lang because of those computer games. But nung grade 7, naging magkaklase na kami. In fact, he was in front of me, Bagsit, and then Baizas. So we became best friends because of 7 Gonzaga, and that friendship went on all throughout high school and also even after college. And after that, we still talk all the time, and we get together every now and then. When I was there in Manila last March, we hung out, and it was nice to catch up with my very good friend, best friend, Gino Bagsit. And also, I was reunited with Levi Pasilyao and Nicolo Ortiz Luis. Si Levi was my classmate from prep to grade 2. Naging kaklase ko ulit ng grade 7. And also si Nicolo Ortiz Luis, who I mentioned, was my classmate in grade 3, Humabon. So, anong nangyari, naging barkada ko sila. So, magbarkada nun, si Levi, ako, si Nicolo Ortiz Luis, tsaka si Richard Samson. Richard, if you're seeing this, I'll see you on December 7. So, that was the group. So, every recess, every lunch, kaming apat ang magkakasama, and we'll get into all sorts of trouble. After lunch in the cafeteria, we would walk towards grade 1, the grade 1 grounds, or just all over the grade school. We would hang out in those concrete slides behind grade 1. Pero mga mama na kami, mga teenager na kami noon. So it was different. Hindi na yung naglalaro doon. It was really more of tambay lang, just killing time. We had about 50 minutes to an hour nung lunch nung grade 7, and we would just walk around and hang out anywhere in the Ateneo Grade School ground. So kaming apat yung magkakasama. I also remember Mr. Pitch Pablo was our teacher again. This time he was our teacher for math in grade 7. And also I remember Mr. Singson. Mr. Mariano Singson was our language teacher. Very, very effective teacher, also very memorable. Of course, rest in peace, Mr. Singson. He had that very deep voice, very distinct voice, si Mr. Singson. Alam mo talaga na pag nagtuturo siya, magaling talaga siyang magsalita. And I remember napagalitan kami ni Bagsit niyan once kasi nga ang daldal namin, we were always talking to each other. So pag tinawag niya talaga yung attention mo, it's hard to ignore kasi nga yung boses niya very unique. Mr. Mariano Singson. I also remember balik swimming nung grade 7. Remember nung grade 3 teacher natin si Mr. Sailani for swimming. Nagkaroon ulit ng swimming ng grade 7. Grade 5, grade 4 to grade 6 walang swimming classes. Grade 7 ulit nagkaroon. And our teacher there was Mr. Basug. I remember Mr. Basug was a new teacher during that time. And natutunan ko sa kanya sa swimming yung tumble turn. Yung pag freestyle, pagdating sa dulo, tumble turn, di ba? Kaya Mr. Basug yan during his swimming class. So sir, thank you for that if you're watching this, Mr. Basug. I remember also talking about or speaking of Mr. Mariano Singson. I remember yung ACT or Ateneo Children's Play or Ateneo Children's Theater production during this year was Tales from Huron Country. Tales from Huron Country. So I don't know if this was the first, but for the first time, the play was about the Jesuit priests who martyred themselves, or who were martyrs in spreading the Catholic faith. So it was a story about the Jesuit priests who went into Huron country to preach the gospel and spread the word of God. I remember ang ACT nung time na yon, sila Nino Macavinta, sina Brian Jalsita, Mitch Chiang, sila yung mga artista sa Ateneo Children's Theater. Ken Katigbak, I believe, was also in that production. Sila yung mga sikat kasi nga they got to hang around with the students from St. Bridget and Miriam na sumasali din dun sa production. So they were close with the girls. Speaking of girls, grade 7 was the first time or my first experience of having a soiree. So all of you, di ba, dyan nagsa-start yung mga interactions natin with girls from other schools. Grade 7 was my first soiree or our first soiree as a class. And I remember our first soiree was with a class or a batch from St. Teresa's College or STC. And even now, I remember, they're good friends of mine until now. Si Christine Messina, si Desiree Peralejo. Those were yun yung mga una naming nakasware sa 7 Gonzaga. So because it was the first, it was very memorable. They became lifelong friends as well. I remember our first soiree was in Desiree Peralejo's house there in Valle Verde. So yeah, Christine Messina and Desiree Peralejo from our first soiree in 7 Gonzaga with the STC girls. I also remember there was a duo in class who were inseparable, si Jed Santos tsaka si Leo Guillermo. Mag-best friend yan, dalawang yan, nung grade 7 kami. And I hung out with them for a while also. I remember nag-overnight pa kami sa bahay ni Jed dun sa Cinco Hermanos kasi they wanted me to finish yung Castlevania 2 sa Nintendo Family Computer nung grade 7. Remember nung grade 6 na uso na yung Nintendo Family Computer. Mahirap kasi yung Castlevania 2 kasi Japanese. Walang English. So ang hirap, hindi mo alam kung ano yung instructions, hindi mo alam kung ano nangyayari. But I was able to finish it. And they had to invite me for a sleepover in Jed's house to watch me finish it. That was fun. I remember that from 7 Gonzaga. Jed and Leo Guillermo. What I remember also from our final year in the grade school, parang walang sense of patapos na, maghihiwalay na tayo. We didn't feel that, hindi katulad nung pag Ateneo High School, talagang you're clinging on to each other because magkakahiwa-hiwalay na, no? Sa grade 7, somehow there wasn't any feeling of that. I don't know if we were still too young to be aware of that. But we didn't feel like, I'm not gonna see you anymore. Or magkakawatak-watak na tayo pagdating ng high school. Feeling namin magkikita pa rin kami sa high school and everybody will still be around. So we weren't exactly, stressing out over not seeing our classmates and our friends anymore. So there was no sense of that. Also, it was 1989 to 1990, but we didn't feel the turn of the decade. We didn't feel like, the 80s are ending and 1990 was coming around. Walang feeling of new decade. Hindi katulad nung I remember when it was 2000. Of course, it was the new millennium and the new century. Pero parang yung turn of the decade parang wala lang. Hindi siya big deal noon. So, but it was huge. We were graduating grade 7 and we were transitioning to high school. But there was no, it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. I remember also from grade 7, remember yesterday I was saying, yung pag dumating ka sa intermediate building, sarado pa yung gate, no? I remember with grade 7 naman, some students were early and the classrooms were still closed. So we would wait outside the bench for the classroom to open hanggang mag-flag ceremony, di ba? And may group din yan na nagiging friends mo rin. I remember, laging maaga, si Arnie Aguila. Arnie Aguila, who's also based here in California, in LA now. He lives here in Pasadena. I remember Arnie Aguila, siya yung laging nauuna doon. And then, dadating ako and then yung iba will also arrive. But doon muna kami sa labas for a while. And then, kwentuhan konti before classes start. So, nagiging close rin kayo, nagiging friends rin kayo. Kasi inaantay nyo yung classroom na magbukas. Again, for grade 7, once a week, we were allowed to wear casual or street clothes, hindi yung uniform. Ang uso nung time na to, yung driving shoes. So, kung mayaman ka, you were wearing Colan. Yung mga mayayaman namin kaklase, Colan yung sapatos nila pag casual day. And then, yung isa pang sikat nun, kasi nga driving shoes yung uso, di ba? Yung Cedar Crest, yun yung mas mura, parang 600 lang yata yun nung time na yun. Pero yung mga Colan, mga 3,000 yun. nung time na yon, times 5 the price. Tapos usong-uso rin yung Levi's 501. Naalala ko si Levi. Talagang proud na proud siya pag casual day. Suot niya yung original niya na Levi's 501 na galing sa States. So yon, uso yung Levi's, uso yung Cole Haan, driving shoes, uso rin yung Swatch. Uso yung Swatch nung time na to. And then uso rin yung Benetton, yung brand na Benetton. Remember that brand? So meron ding relo na Benetton na sikat nung time na yon. So that's what I remember from grade 7 in terms of fashion. Cole Haan, Levi's 501, Swatch, and Benetton watches. So yan yung mga suit namin pag soiree. You wear your best stuff kapag Tapos so yeah, yun yung uso nung 1989 to 1990. And I remember, as I said, I remember my classmates, Levi, Richard, Nicolo, Gino Bagsit, Jed Santos, and Leo Guillermo. And of course, kaklase din pala namin nung grade 7 sina Angel Nunez. May sariling group yan sila Angel. Parang may sarili rin silang barkada. And kaklase rin namin si Dio de la Cruz. I remember. Dio, who's also based here in California, but he's in NorCal. Kaklase rin namin yan nung grade 7. So, there you have it. Our final episode of Ricky Remembers walk down memory lane of the Ateneo Grade School corridors. This is wrapping up that series. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you all at the alumni homecoming this December 7 at the Ateneo High School covered courts. I'm flying out from California to join you guys there. This will be the first time. And it's 25 years out of high school for our batch. So I'll see you there. Please say hi. And please, I encourage everyone to support our fundraising efforts. Concert ni Parokya ni Edgar, or concert ng Parokya ni Edgar, October 22 at the Music Museum. Tickets are at 1,000 and 2,000. You can buy them at TicketNet. And also our raffle, we're raffling away a Hyundai Kona, a Vespa scooter, and a specialized bike, and some shoes from Cole Haan, and some clothes from Nautica. And then also our batch watch. We have a few of the white face Seiko urchin left. So ask myself or any one of our batchmates, or any one of my batchmates, if you have any questions about that. And I'll see you on December 7, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Ricky Remembers. This has been Ricky Baizas. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like or to comment on the video, to share it, and most importantly, to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and clicking the notification bell so that you'll be informed every time there's a new episode. Please help me get up to 1,000 subscribers so I can start monetizing the channel. I promise, if your batchmate, your schoolmate, your classmate becomes a famous YouTube star, I will donate, or I will give my first earnings to our teachers. I'll give it to them. If I start making $100,000, I'll give each one $10,000 of our teachers. Promise ko yan. Promise ko yan. Once I start making hundreds of thousands of dollars from YouTube, I'll give proceeds, or give some proceeds to our beloved teachers. So that's it. That's it for the Atenista series. I thank you. This has been Ricky Baizas for Ricky Remembers. Peace, love, courage. Thanks.